Hello everybody. It's a really beautiful Sunday morning and I'm driving, as I do a lot of times on Sundays. So I had a few minutes to come through with something that I have been, it's kind of been like something that I'm not sure that everybody's ready to hear or really wrap their heads around, but I'm going to put it out there anyways. And it has to do with the concept of success and how your vibration is your currency. And I'm going to explain that. So there's this idea that the man who goes and builds this huge business and corporation and stuff, that is the definition, that's an example of the definition of success. It's about how can we gain monetarily. That's how people kind of like see success. And that this person has achieved more than the person, say, who has lived a very low-key life, you know, just simple living. Maybe this person likes to garden. He spent like majority of his life just in his garden and like living a really chill life. And people would think like, wow, this man isn't successful. He just chilling. Like he's not doing anything to gain awards or achievement or recognition. So that's how we define success. So that man isn't successful. But the craziest thing is that man, a lot of people don't realize, is more successful than the man who has all these businesses and has gained this financial wealth or won a lot of awards and one thing or another, or whatever that we define as success. Like he is more. And because what we don't understand is that material things and money and all that, that's not where the currency of success lies. Your vibration is the real currency. So a person who has materially achieved and quote unquote succeeded could be carrying such a lower vibration, and probably is. I mean, I'm not saying every person who's achieved is carrying a lower vibration, but a lot of people who overwork themselves and can't just like sit and be sometimes, or they're doing something like, yeah, that's great, you've built this huge business, but is it doing something you love? Every day when you wake up in the morning, are you doing something that you love? Like, are you doing something that sets your soul on fire? Because that's how you impact your vibration. Are you doing things for others? Like, are you interacting with others on like a deep, like connected level? Or when you smile at somebody or you have a conversation with somebody, are you like really engaged in like caring and like feel this connection with them? Or is it very like surface level shit, And this person that has lived this simple life and just like chilled in his garden and like, just done the simple things, is probably carrying a really high vibration, because they're just like going, and when they go interact with people, they go to like whatever community organization they might belong to, or their family, or going just to the grocery store and like maybe having short conversations with people there, and they have a high vibration. They affect people so much in such a more powerful way. Even if you're not interacting with somebody and you're just like in the general vicinity or live in the same town, you're affecting people if you have a high vibration. And that is the currency that we have to define success by. Like, you're successful if you can be happy in a moment-to-moment basis consistently. If you can experience joy and love and all those feelings that we think that material things are going to get us. So why do we want material things to begin with? Because we think once we get those things, they're going to give us those feelings that we're searching for, the happiness, the joy, the love, all those things. That's what we want. So we think once we get these awards, and the thing of it is, once you get the material thing, once you get the fancier car, once you get the fancier house, it's like a hit of heroin or a hit of a hard drug. It's like you feel that joy for a second, and then you realize that shit was over real quick. So maybe that those things, or once you get that award, like think of somebody who has played a sport their whole life, and now it's like the end of their career, end of their college career, end of their professional career, and now they have to like figure out what their identity is beyond what that achievement was, and they feel empty. a lot of people who play sports and it defined them, and I know because I was a person that was like that. Like when I played basketball all the way up into college, basketball defined me. Everybody knew me as the person who played basketball. You know what I mean? They didn't know me as like being an artistic person or, you know, being intelligent or any of these things that, you know, all these other things that I bring to the table. People didn't know me as that. I was defined as this person who played basketball. You know what I mean? And like after that, it was like I had to try to find myself. Like, who am I now? You know? Like, it's very, very important to understand that your emotional state of being is your currency. Your vibration is your currency. Like, how do you feel? Do you feel tired and like you don't want to get up and go to work right now? Well, maybe you're not doing something you're very passionate about, because if you were, you'd wake up like ready to go, like excited to work on things, wanting to stay at work late, because guess what? I freaking love what I'm doing and I'm building something that's awesome, or I'm creating something that's awesome. Like, if your like soul is set on fire for this stuff and you don't want to take a break from it, that's how you know you're doing what you love. Like, there's a lot of signs to know you're doing something you love, and if you're not, that's okay. Figure an exit route from the shit that you're doing that you don't love and make a path, because you can do anything. You can create anything. If you really understood how powerful you are, there's nothing you can't achieve. The only thing holding you back are your belief systems. Your belief in yourself, your belief in, like, you think that this process that everybody tells you from Jump Street, from the time you're born, that you're supposed to go through college and do this and that and all that bullshit, like, it's a belief system that's ingrained in you. That's what's holding you back, your belief systems. You living in resonance with who you really are is what success is. That is what makes you feel joy on a day-to-day basis. The only reason you even want this fancy job or this fancy car or all these things is because you want to be joyful. You want those things to bring you joy. But what you don't realize is those things are temporary joy. The real joy is figuring out who the hell you are and lining up with it. Doing the things you love to do, being around the people who you love, not forcing yourself to be around somebody who's toxic for you just because they're family or just because you had kids with them and you marry them. It's really simple, but it's hard because we have been programmed to believe otherwise. We have been programmed to do what other people tell us to do. That's what the school system does. Think about look at cars back in the 1950s and then look at cars now, how they evolved. They're totally different. Why do our classrooms look exactly the same as they did since they were literally created way before the 1950s, like way a while ago when they first started doing one school classrooms? Like, the desks are set up the same way. The teachers are teaching in similar ways. Nothing has changed. It's because it's a control mechanism to get people to think in a certain way. They create belief systems in schools that prepare you to be a part of this life where you're basically clocking in and you're under somebody else's control. If you're having a rough day and you just want to lay in the bed and not go to work, why do you have to feel anxious or like worried about calling your boss and having to call off? Why does this person have any type of control over you? Why are we living in a culture where that's okay? And nobody's asking these questions. I swear, I will never, ever be in a situation again where somebody is going to try to tell me or make me feel like I have to be anywhere. Anywhere. That just does not resonate with me. When you take your power back, you realize like you're the person that's in control of your life. There's nobody around you, not your parents. Nobody can guilt you into like doing anything that you don't want to do. Doesn't matter what it is. Take your power back. When you do, people will respect you. They'll look at you in a different light. They'll see you as an individual instead of somebody who's just doing what everybody else does. You're unique. They'll be drawn to you because they're like, damn, I want that fire. I want that independence. I want that self-respect. And it's not an ego thing. It's not like, oh, I want everyone to be like me. No, because everybody is going to be, that's the beautiful thing about it. Everyone is trying to be like each other in the Matrix, in the world where we're programmed, everyone's trying to get similar cars that have the same logo on it, because that's a definition of success. Like, it's bullshit. Everybody's going to be so unique, and that's what's going to be awesome and beautiful, because everybody's going to bring something different to the table. And as everybody brings their little different unique thing to the table, it comes together as a whole in this perfect cohesive piece that just flows together. And that's the type of communities that are going to be built in the future once people become more conscious, because consciousness is rising. Shit, I want to keep this under 10 minutes so I can put it on my Instagram. I'm going to shut up now. So I hope you guys like really received and enjoyed that message, and that you take a look at, you know, how you're interacting on a day-to-day basis, because it's so important to understand how your vibration is your currency, and what you value. What do you value? You value joy, because that's why you want those material things, because you want them to make you feel joyful. If you value that, then take a real hard, intricate look at your life and where you could possibly make changes to live a more simple life and to get to know yourself a little better, so you can do things that you love every day and no one has to tell you where you have to be. And you know what's going to raise your vibration is coming into your power, saying, no, like, I don't have to live this way. I can live a different way, and this way is going to make me feel more joyful. But anyways, I love you guys. I hope you have an awesome Sunday.